So I did a thing. Hello everybody. Um, back to on back to Only One Red, and yet again another book haul video. Now, before you go off on me, I have two things to say to defend myself. One of them is three things to say to defend myself. One of them is that the first three book haul videos that you saw, actually no, all of them. Is it three of them or four of them that I've already uploaded? I've actually forgotten. Those were all like filmed, like pre-filmed. Like I've had them for a few months. Like, so you don't know anything about. And I uploaded them. Like, if you go back and you see on the dates of uploading, you will see that one has been uploaded like every single day from the day that I made the YouTube channel. Because I made the YouTube channel and I was like, okay, let's post a video a day, and I had like a stack of them. I've also got a coffee here. Look at this cute little mug. One of my friends got it for my birthday last year. My birthday is in January, but she gave it to me in July. I don't know why I said that. I'm not telling her off because like we hadn't seen each other in ages, but look how cute it is. Oh, sorry, I just went to cough. If I cough a little bit, it is because I'm recovering from what I thought was just a cold, but turns out I had COVID. Well, I must have had, because on the first day that I was ill, I tested negative for COVID, and today I've tested negative for COVID. However, my entire family is now ill, and they're all testing positive for COVID because I went home over the weekend. I think I told you guys, and oh no, I haven't told you. I've started filming a new video. That's going to be a vlog and review of The Burning Maze. I haven't finished it yet, but I am very, very close to the end of the book, and once I finish it, I'm going to do like a review and finish filming that video. I was literally crying about The Burning Maze yesterday, but that's another video. My second defense for this book haul is that Waterstones are currently having like a Black Friday thing where you get like triple of your points, and I am a Waterstones girly. I've got a Waterstones points card. And also, the third reason is I had noble intentions. I went to buy, I wanted to get either one or both, of two short story collections. I was going to get it for my friend's birthday. I didn't end up buying either because I couldn't find them, and I got so distracted by the like double points of Waterstones, so I just spent like so much money. Yeah, because I'm a horrible friend. I'm sorry. To be fair, I did go. Yeah, those are my. That's it. Sorry, that is my defense. I'm sorry. I also bought this really cute bag because Waterstones only do like paper bags, and I don't think that they would have been strong enough to withstand. So I bought this. It's not a tote. Do they call these totes? I'm not sure, but it's so cute. I really like mushrooms. Fun fact. So, without any further ado, let's dig in here and see what all the things I bought were. Oh god, right. What is this? Because to be fair, I had like a literal, like almost like a mental breakdown in Waterstones. Like I got so overwhelmed because there were so many beautiful things around me, and there was a lot of people around as well making a lot of noise, and I had to do maths to kind of figure out like how much money I was spending, and I literally like nearly cried. So I kind of like, after I'd been in there for like an hour, I kind of just like grabbed a load of books and then like bolted out of there. So this is Blood Over Bright Haven. I won't lie to you, I am a person who gets drawn by pretty covers and sprayed edges, and it's a signed copy. I'm sorry, I'm just like this. So it is basically like, this is giving, like when I read the blurb, like it's giving Dark Academia, it's giving Magic Academy. It's like a fantasy series where this girl goes into this like elite magical academy, and I think she's like the first girl ever to be accepted into this academy. And she's got like the odds stacked up against her, whereas most people accepted into the academy get assistants. She only gets like a janitor to like help her. But it turns out that this janitor, who's also a woman, is actually a really powerful a magician, sorceress as well, and together they're going to like disrupt the system. And from what I can understand, like this is very, I really like magic systems that are kind of based off alchemy and based off science. And this is the vibe this is giving me. It's giving me Dark Academia vibes. So let me just read a little bit about this. Now, I'll read you the blurb. For 20 years, Siona has devoted every waking moment to the study of magic, fueled by a mad desire to achieve the impossible, to be the first woman ever admitted to the high magistracy at the University of Magics and Industry. When Siona finally passes the qualifying exam and becomes a high mage, she finds her challenges have just begun. Her new colleagues are determined to make her feel unwelcome, and instead of a qualified lab assistant, not assistant, yeah, lab assistant, they give her a janitor. What neither Siona nor her peers realise is that her taciturn assistant was not always a janitor. 10 years ago, I thought it was a woman. Oh no, it turns out it was a guy. Sorry, I got confused. Oh well. I guess it may be romance. I don't know. I mean, it could have been romance with the woman as well. He was a nomadic hunter who lost his family on their perilous journey from the wild plains to the city. But now he sees the opportunity to understand the forces that decimated his tribe, drove him from his homeland, and keep the privilege and power. Okay, I just feel like I kind of make a fool of myself with these videos because I kind of reveal how much like little attention I pay. But look, I buy books and I read books off vibes. I'm like vibes, 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 vibes. The vibes are excellent. Sometimes the vibes are excellent. Sometimes the vibes are rancid. And look how pretty it is. Oh, come on. It's gonna be good. Another sip of coffee. Oh. Okay, so I have been spying this for a while. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that I'm a big fan of Greek mythology retellings. And Laura Shepperson, actually, I'm currently reading her books, her book, The Heroines, which is based off of the myth of Phaedra and her marriage to Theseus. I'm actually really enjoying that. Although I've paused it because I'm at a certain point in the Burning Maze where it's very like emotionally, I'm very emotionally invested in the Burning Maze and I want to finish that before I read anything else. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying her work, and so I've been eyeing this for a while. So what this is this is basically, that's why it's called Heir of Venus. It is a retelling of the story of Aeneas. Sorry, I'm still a little bit ill. I'm sorry. And Aeneas is he's a hero in the Trojan War, fought on the Trojan side. He is the son of Venus or Aphrodite, a demigod. And after the fall of Troy, he is rumored to be the founder of the Roman Empire. I know that there's also the myth of Romulus and Remus and how they were raised by the wolf Lupa, is it? I think. But I'm not sure how those two myths kind of, if they are compatible with each other, if they're alternate explanations. But this is one of the explanations of the founding of Rome. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this, and I'm in a very like Roman mood lately. Because if you don't know Trials of Apollo, like it's also like it's kind of more heavy on like the Roman mythology than it is on the Greek mythology, which I didn't really like in Heroes of Olympus, but I'm actually enjoying it in Trials of Apollo more. So yeah, just really good mythology vibes. And Jennifer Saint says it's good, and I like Jennifer Saint. So right. So this was a little bit random. Honestly, like this has been on my TBR for a while, but what kind of pushed me to buy it and to want to read it? Two things is no, actually, just one thing. It's just that I have heard really good things about ML Rio. I know that, is it a woman? I think it's a woman. I know that they've written, I'm just going to use gender neutral terms just to be sure. We Were Villains as well, which I own but I haven't read. And one of my best friends recommended me We Were Villains. We did a thing where we went into a bookshop and we like swapped books. So we bought each other. So we each bought like a book for the other person. Um, So yeah, like in terms of like what we thought they would enjoy. So this has also been it's really talked about by one of my favorite booktubers of all time, Clockwork Reader. I'm not sure actually if she did read it, but I think she just mentioned it in her like full TBR. So we'll see. It's called Graveyard Shift. And to be honest, I don't know exactly much about what it's actually about. I think it's like a kind of cast of characters, and they all kind of come together in this graveyard. They're drawn to it for different reasons. I think the main character is the gravedigger. And I think, yeah, I don't know. I think I like the mushrooms on the cover as well. I won't lie to you. I really like mushrooms as horror and as like eldritch horror. I won't lie to you. So like if this is anything to do with mushrooms, I'm down. I know that sounds really weird. But let's just read the blurb together and find out more together. Every night. Yeah, and this is also like I think this is also like a little bit of Dark Academia. It looks very small as well, so it's like it should be like easy to read, easy to finish. I think it's like in a set on a college campus as well. Every night in the college's ancient cemetery, five people cross paths as they work the late shift: a bartender, a rideshare driver, a hotel receptionist, the steward of the derelict church that looms over them, and the editor in chief of the college paper, always in search of a story. One dark October evening in the defunct churchyard, they find a hole that wasn't there before, a fresh open grave where no grave should be. But who dug it, and for whom? Before they go their separate ways, the gravedigger returns. As they trail him through the night, they realize he may be the key to a string of strange happenings around town that have made headlines for the last few weeks, and that they may be closer to the mystery than they thought. So, yeah, murder mystery, horror vibes, academia vibes. I like stories where you've got this kind of cast of characters that come from different worlds, but they kind of get pulled together by a common thread and a common theme. So, yeah, looking forward to it. All right, this is really random, but the Full Moon Coffee Shop. um, I got it because I like books that are about like life and kind of just have like a deeper message about life. And from what I understand, this is about a kind of coffee shop where you go to and there are these magical cats that give you like profound wisdom and advice about your life. I think I I enjoyed Matt Haig's The Midnight Library, and I feel like this might be similar. So I don't know. I don't know what you call that genre, where it's like kind of magical realism, but it's kind of like light-hearted magical realism. It's like It's a Wonderful Life, but it's just a little bit cozier. I feel like this is what this book is going for. I hope that's what this book is going for. So I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. So yeah, it's giving cozy, it's giving nice aesthetics, um it's giving kind of the magic of the mundane. So I'll just read it to you. Under a glittering full moon, a Kyoto coffee shop with no fixed location. Oh, I love that. I love it when it's like liminality, like liminal aesthetic, like this place, this coffee shop, this diner, this circus, this museum, this something. It moves and it doesn't stand still. It's a living entity in and of itself. I love that idea. No fixed location or opening hours appears, only and where and when it's needed. Serving fragrant teas, the finest coffees, and delicious desserts. It's entirely run by talking cats. The coffee shop attracts customers who have lost their way in life, from a down on her luck screenwriter and a love struck TV director to a misunderstood stylist and failed video game developer. In the middle of the night, the coffee shop's feline guides take them on an astrological journey which forces the characters to face up to the past in order to discover their destiny. It's just like I also, like I just said, I like kind of this theme of a public space or a theme or something like being what draws people together. Like you have all these people and they all have kind of their paths in life and they all kind of run around in life and they think that they're separate and that they're the main characters of their own story, and they kind of pass each other and they don't know each other, but there's a kind of a closeness to their distance, if that makes any sense. I really like that theme. I write about it a lot because I like to write in my spare time. So yeah, this also just feels a little bit Studio Ghibli like, and I really like Studio Ghibli films. So Yeah, that's me. Okay, Babel. I have seen this around for so long, but I got the final push to buy it because a Clockwork Reader really loved this, and we have very similar reading tastes. Me and a Clockwork Reader have very similar reading tastes, only that she has much higher standards. Sometimes I like book series, like I like Akatar when she doesn't like it at all, but I completely agree with everything that she thinks about Akatar. It's just that I have a much lower standards. So like if she likes the book, I know that I'm gonna love it. So yeah, basically from what I understand, this is also very dark academia. It's about this like elite institution in Oxford, which is around centers around translation and linguistics, but it's also like a twist on like normal reality. Like I love books where it's kind of an alternate reality, but it's still recognizable as our world. Like it's set in Oxford in 1836, but it's an alternate Oxford 1836. And I think the alteration is that there is slight magic and alchemy in this world. It's not kind of like everywhere in your face, but I think they study it as well in this institution. And I think it's about this group of students, some of whom are there on scholarship, and they kind of clash with like the students who got in more traditionally and come from like really elite, powerful, rich families. I think that there's going to be like some like kind of discussion around surrounding class differences, and there's going to be some sort of mystery, some sort of plot that they have to uncover. And I think that it probably, I think, also explores themes of like colonialism, because of course, like this is Britain, like during the Empire. Um, so yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm really looking forward to this. Actually, I think I'm gonna really love this. Gonna drink. Sorry, another sip of coffee. All right, so I'm not even gonna talk about this because I don't think I know like anything about this. I'm just gonna. It is the A Gathering of Shadows, which I know that is the second book in the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy. I won't lie to you, I don't really know. Like, I'm not even gonna read the back of this because I don't want to get spoiled for the first book because I've not read the first book. Basically, I've always wanted to read this because I really like V.E. Schwab. To be fair, I've only read two books of hers. I've read The Near Witch and Gallant, which were both standalones, but I really liked them. And a lot of my favorite like YouTubers and authors also like V. Schwab. So I think that I will like her other books. I have heard really good things about this series in particular. Basically, the reason that I started buying these is because I bought The Fragile Threads of Power, which I believe is the first of a new duology set in the same universe. I bought a signed edition of that one, and it annoys me to not have the other books, to have like the fourth book chronologically, and not to have like the first three. And I bought the A Darker Shade of Magic, the first book, like ages ago. So now I just bought The Gathering of Shadows. Do you know what? I can't even remember what it is. I think it's dystopian. I think it's dystopian magic. I could be wrong. I can't remember. My brain is fried. I'm sorry. Okay. So if you watched my previous book haul videos, you know why I bought this. I bought it because it's very similar to what happened with the Darker Shade of Magic series. I bought Map of Bones, which is the fourth series in this kind of series by Kate Mosé, and I bought it because it was a signed edition, and I didn't have the first three books. So this is the third book, so now I have the whole series up to and including the Map of Bones. I don't. I know it's historical fiction, and I know it follows this family like throughout the years. I know there's probably magic and secrets and corruption involved, but honestly, like that's pretty much all I know. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go back to my previous video. I think I talked about them a little bit more. I might kind of. I think there's this mystery surrounding the family. The heir finds a letter telling them something like, "I know what you did," or "I know what's coming." and she has to kind of unveil this family secret. And it follows, like I said, this family throughout centuries. I think it starts in like the 1400s, and the last book is in like the 1800s. And I think they move as well. They're a French aristocratic family, and at some point they've moved and they've come to South Africa. So yeah, it should be interesting. I like series and books and stories that kind of have this theme, this thread running through time, and yeah, I think I will enjoy it, but I don't know much about it. This is kind of like an OCD purchase because it bugs me that I didn't have them up until then, up until the fourth book. Right, so this last one, and I got this because it was buy one get one half price with this. I have this fear that I might already own this but I don't think I do, because I have seen this in the buy one get one free aisle in Waterstones for a very, very long time, but I don't think so. Basically, what this is, also what kind of solidified me buying this, is because I was reading the blurb and the the shopkeeper came and was like, "You like this is excellent. You should read this," and I was like, "Okay." I just go by what he tells me because like we have very similar taste in books. Basically, what this is set in the 1800s, I believe. But it's set in the grandest house in Mayfair, and the housekeeper gets dismissed. And basically, from what I understand, she knows that they've been planning this really elaborate ball, and she decides, as revenge for the fact that she's like unjustifiably dismissed, she and the rest of the servants and a lot of people that she recruits come together to plan a heist to basically steal a load of things like during the night of this ball. That's from what I understand the plot is anyway. I really like heist films, and I really like The Six of Crows. I don't expect this to be like Six of Crows. I think this is much, much more on the light-hearted, cozy kind of idea and aesthetic. But I really like heist movies and books. So basically, excited to read it. I will read anything like that. Yeah. Oh, so that was it for my. Let me just actually no. I'll lift it up at the end. I'll lift it up at the end. I'll lift it up for you as well for now, because there's only one more that I have to talk about. But this was my Waterstones haul. Um, oof. There's only one more book that I want to talk about. I didn't get this from Waterstones. I got this from a secondhand bookshop that I visited before I went to Waterstones. And I also have some DVDs I would like to talk about as well, because I bought some more DVDs. Okay, so this is The Humans by Matt Haig. And I think I mentioned already in this video that I read The Midnight Library by Matt Haig years ago, and I really liked that. That book is about this woman who is. Wait, let me drink some coffee. The Midnight Library is about this woman who is severely depressed. She kind of didn't really do much with her life. She had a lot of opportunities, but she never kind of grasped them. She has a lot of unfulfilled dreams. Let's for a few examples is that she I can't remember exactly how they broke up, but she's got a failed relationship. The other thing is that she wanted her childhood kind of dream was to become a meteorologist. I think that's what you call it. A scientist basically who studies weather and climate change. She didn't follow that through. Another dream of hers was that she wanted to, later in her teenage years, she was in a band with her brother and some of his friends, but they never kind of went anywhere. And another thing is that one of her best friends invited her to come and live with her in Australia, and she never took that opportunity either. And all she's kind of done is that she just works in this music shop, and she tutors piano basically part time, and that's all she does. And one day her cat dies, and it's kind of like a final straw for her. It's kind of obvious that she's been suffering with depression for a while. And I'm going to say this because I don't think it's like trigger warning, but I don't think it's like a surprise because it sorry, that was my neighbor, because it's kind of part of the arc and the setup of the story. She attempts suicide, and while she's in this kind of limbo of like semi-consciousness, she in her mind kind of enters this midnight library, and the library is stocked with books upon books, like infinite many books, and they all open and lead to an alternate reality where she made different choices. And so she kind of goes back and experiences like her lives in all of these other different scenarios. What if she did that? What if she did this? What if she did this? But then she kind of learns the meaning of life along the way. And I really love that book, honestly. Like a lot of people, it got a lot of critique because it kind of said like, haha, she like her depression is like magically cured by the end. But the thing is, like, it's a story about someone like going through like a very intense metaphysical experience. Like, I know that you're not the one like going through something like that intense. It very well might cure somebody's depression because it's not something that everybody experiences. Like the opportunity to literally like experience life, and also like time for her passes very differently because she literally lives like years in these like alternate lives. So yeah, she could very well have gotten over depression by literally living life for like years as someone else and getting to see like things from different experiences. But also, this is literally like a fantasy novel. This is like a magical realism novel. Like, this is like when you put on like a Hallmark Christmas movie. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to suspend disbelief a little bit because it's there to tell you a story and it's there to teach you a lesson and it's there to make you feel better about life. So I really don't get people who don't who criticize the book for that reason. If you didn't like it for other reasons, if you didn't like the writing, whatever, I understand that. But yeah. But basically, I wanted to read something else by Matt Haig because I know that his writing is just a little bit wacky. He always kind of writes about these off the wall scenarios, and from what I understand, this is actually about an alien who crash lands on Earth, the humans, and basically has to pretend that he's human. From what I understand, and the only person that he feels like any connection to and that understands him is this dog. I'll just read you the blurb. After an incident one wet Friday night where he is found walking naked through the streets of Cambridge, Professor Andrew Martin is not feeling quite himself. Food sickens him, clothes confuse him, even his loving wife and teenage son are repulsive to him. He feels lost amongst a crazy alien species and hates everyone on the planet. Everyone, that is, except Newton, and he's a dog. Who is he really? And what could make someone change their mind about the human race? I mean, did I just make up that plot point? I swear that this is. I don't think he is that person. I think like he inserted himself into this person's life and like stole his identity, and he's actually an alien. But I could be wrong, and this could all be like a metaphor for just feeling like alienated and alone. Whatever it is, I'm really looking forward to it. I really like. I just like Matt Haig, even though I've only read one book by him, but I have faith. Okay, so that was it for the books. I'm gonna show it to the camera again. Yay! And now on to the DVDs because I said this in the last video. I want to start collecting DVDs because I want to start traditionally watching things with DVDs and DVD players again because streaming services annoy me how they constantly rotate films, what's on, what's on different streaming services and whatnot. And I want to actually own my media physically. Oh, did I only get three? Oh, I only got two. Oh, yeah, I only got two. I was gonna get Great Gatsby as well, but I put it back at the last minute. Probably for the best, even though it was only 99p. I only got two in the end. Okay. One of them is Gladiator because I've never watched it. I think I kind of already told you guys I'm in like an ancient Rome mood. I've never watched it and I know sequels coming out, so like I was like, maybe it's time. Sorry, maybe it's time to watch it. I know that it's basically Russell Crowe. I've seen it in bits, and I've seen the big scene where he's like, "Oh, my name is Marcus something Aurelius, father." I'm not gonna say it, so I say it. Spoilers: father to a murdered wife. No, husband to a murdered wife. Father to a murdered son. Something something. I can't remember. But I remember when I was doing A level English, my teacher put this clip on because the title of the lesson was on revenge, and she put on the scene from The Princess Bride where he's like, "My name is what's his name? Indigo Montaigne. You killed my father. Prepare to die." And he just keeps saying that. And she put on that clip and she put on this clip at the beginning of the lesson. I've not seen The Princess Bride either. I'm sorry. I'm really behind in a lot of classic films. I know that this is about this like esteemed Roman general, and I know that basically he gets like betrayed or set up or framed, and he basically like loses all of his status, and his family is murdered, and he gets sold into slavery, and he's forced to like fight as a gladiator. And eventually he like works his way up through the ranks. He becomes like a really good gladiator fighter, and he's brought in front of the emperor. Is it Nero or is it Caligula? I can't remember. It's one of like the bad ones. It's one of the crazy ones. Um, and it's kind of, he's basically on this like revenge plot because to like kill the emperor or get back at the emperor, because I think it's the emperor who like did that all of that to his family because he felt like threatened by him, something along those lines. Yeah, I like, from what I've seen, it looks like a good film. It's just that I haven't gone around to it to see it properly. It's always like, I remember like around like in like 2018, like ITV2 would play this like all the time, and I think I've seen the beginning like a million times. Coffee. Okay, Minority Report. I've not seen this, which is a little bit illegal because I quoted this film, or I think the book that's based off. It's based off a book, or maybe it's a short story by Philip K. Dick. I think it is also called Minority Report. I say that because I know that a lot of Philip K. Dick stories get adapted and their titles changed because, for example, when Androids Dream of Electric Sheep got rewritten to Blade Runner when it got adapted, and I can't remember what the book of Total Recall is called because that is also based off of a Philip K. Dick story. Um, Basically, I just wanted to watch this because I am familiar with Philip K. Dick's work, and I'm familiar with a lot of his stories because as part of my A-level English, I was about to say degree, it wasn't a degree. If you don't know, basically in the UK, if you are outside of the UK, in your kind of 2 last years of high school, which we call sixth form, it's almost like a transition period from school to university. So instead of studying like all of the subjects, you basically pick three that you study to a really high level, and we call those A levels. And I guess you could compare them to like the American AP school system. But I have seen like, because when I was studying for A level biology, I would watch like AP biology videos on YouTube because I was desperate for like any resource. And let me like, this isn't me like trying to be superior because I know that American, like the focus is different because like in America, like you still have like all the other subjects to deal with. Like the depth is not as, it's much more in with A levels. It's basically like a mini degree. So when I did A level English, um, one of the things was, one of the modules was that you, instead of studying like a certain text, you studied like a genre to a really high degree, and the exam was going to be on the genre, and it was going to be generic questions around the genre, and you had to quote books and show evidence that you had read around the subject and you had vast knowledge of all of these authors and all of these themes. And the kind of genre that our teacher chose that we were, I guess if you had the exam sitting like in front of you, you could write about a different genre if you wanted to, but it was highly encouraged to write about the one that you spent like all of this time learning about in class. It was dystopia and post-apocalyptic books. So basically, I just knew about it because of this. God, my mum's calling me. I'm not going to pick it up because I need to finish this. This is the last thing I have to talk about anyway. But basically, this is set in a world where technology has been developed and it allows you to predict and look into the future and arrest people before they commit crimes. So, yeah, obviously, a lot of moral and ethical implications to think about with regards to that. So, yeah. My mum is calling, and I've got WhatsApp on my phone, on my laptop, sorry, and like I'm getting the pop up, and her pop up is literally where I would stop the thing, like where I would stop the recording. So now I have to wait for her to stop calling. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, that's everything to be honest. That was the last one. So thank you so much for sticking with me on this video. I'm gonna hang up. Well, hang up. I'm gonna stop this now because I'm afraid he's gonna start falling again, and then I'm not gonna be able to finish wrapping up this video. Bye. See you next time on Only One Red.